like to dispel the idea that in order to look elegant and classy, we need to wear pleated midi skirts and a sensible heel and white gloves. And of course that would look very elegant. But this is 2024 and a woman can still look very elegant while still looking and feeling like herself. However, and you knew there was a but coming, there are clothes that are in our closets, mine and yours, mine right now that I wear on a regular basis, and I'm sure you have these as well, that although are wonderful for a lot of occasions, if we are trying to go for that elegant and classy and sophisticated look, these items are just probably not going to be it. And there's just some that look kind of cheap and I actually don't really like it for any occasion. Of course, I've got those in this video as well. The shearling coats and shearling pullovers, I'll show you pictures of what I'm talking about in case I'm not saying the right word for it. But although these are probably, well, I'm sure they are very warm and cozy, and especially for you guys who live in a cold climate, they are the perfect thing to wear in a lot of the weather that you get. If you are going somewhere and you want to have that elegant and sophisticated and upscale look, I would just leave that one at home and put on something else. Like a nice wool coat would definitely be a really great alternative. I know it's not as cozy as that shearling pullover that you have, but for this occasion where you want to look very elegant and put together and classy, I would go for the wool coat. A lot of the items that come like pre-scrunched or pre-tied, or the blazer sleeve is pre-scrunched, like on the sleeve or something, a lot of those tend to look kind of cheap. Not all of them. I've seen some by, was it Veronica Beard? I think Veronica Beard maybe had one that they pre-scrunched the sleeve, maybe it was them, and it looked great. But of course the thing is like $700 or $900, and so they like hand did it, and it's, you know, very well made and everything. But the ones that are kind of inexpensively made and they're pre-scrunched and tied and everything, a lot of them just look a little bit cheap. They definitely don't look elegant. I would not suggest wearing that for an occasion where you want to appear elegant. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having these or wearing these. They're a very casual item usually, but I will say a lot of them do look kind of cheap, and a lot of them do just kind of look out of style. So instead of that, I would just wear things that are not pre-scrunched, not pre-tied or anything like that. Either tie it yourself, scrunch it yourself. I mean, even putting the rubber band around your arm, scrunching up and like pulling it over your sleeve looks better than the pre-scrunched blazers. Most of them anyway. I'm sure there's exceptions, but most of them, doing it yourself looks a lot better. This is one that luckily it's not even on trend right now. I think it actually looks kind of dated, but I still see them around. I see them for sale sometimes, and my feet start hurting when I look at them because I remember how uncomfortable they are. I don't really understand even the point of them because they're not functional. And it's the peep toe shoes and peep toe boots. I'm sure at some point these will come back in style and they'll come back on trend. Hopefully they will have updated them so where they won't be so uncomfortable. But every time I look at them, and even when I see them on people's feet, or when I used to see them on people's feet, it just looked like poor little sausages trying to squeeze out the front. It's not a very elegant look. I'm sure there are exceptions. There might be some kind of peep toe somewhere that looks elegant, but for the most part, these don't look very elegant, and especially when it looks like your foot is being squeezed out, that's not an elegant look as well. So I would probably update this shoe. I don't even think they're very functional. Uncomfortable clothing is not going to make you look very elegant either. If you're itching, if you're scratching, or especially if your shoes are giving you blisters or something like that and you're hobbling around, that will not look elegant. Plus, you are never gonna wear that item again. So it's very important that you are wearing clothes that are comfortable and you don't feel like you have to fidget with, and they just naturally hang nicely on your body. Speaking of being uncomfortable, as we get into boot season, you definitely wanna make sure you have the right socks to wear with your boots. So that brings us to our sponsor of this video, which I'm super excited to share with you because I've been wearing them for over 10 years, and it's Bumpus. Bumpus is literally my most trusted brand when it comes to socks, and it's basically the only brand that I will run in. They make super high quality socks that do not fall apart whenever you wash them. They don't have weird seams that get caught between your toes, and they actually hold up when you wash them 50 million times, as I can attest. Now, if you've heard of Bumpus and you've worn their socks, maybe though you didn't know that they have slippers, which I love their slippers. I'm gonna actually put these in a video I do eventually about like Christmas gifts for people, because these slippers are so great. The issue I have with slippers is I don't like the ones that just fly off your feet. I want them to be secure on my feet and be almost like a sock, but have the cushion on the bottom. So these are wonderful. And they also have underwear now, and I can attest because I'm wearing them right now. I'm not going to show you because that would be weird, but their underwear is amazing. It's seamless, it stays put. They've really put the same quality that they do in their socks with all the rest of their items that they offer. So if you are a person who wears socks, I would definitely suggest checking out Bumpa's. You're probably not ever going to be able to go back to any other kinds of socks. But anyway, I'll leave them in the description box below, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. And let's continue. Now there's a look that looks like you went and spent a whole bunch of money on clothes, which is totally fine. Wonderful, good for you. But I don't really think it looks very elegant, and it just doesn't have the elegant vibe. And that's if you have a whole bunch of designer logo items all in the same outfit. You got like a Gucci shirt, and you got a Fendi jacket, and Prada sunglasses, and Gucci shoes, and all the things. I mean, this is a look, okay? And I mean, there's a TikTok that goes around, I think it's somewhere in South Florida, or maybe it's in California, I don't remember. And they're always like filming these women that are like decked out in designer clothes. But actually, now that I think about it, none of them have logos all over the place. Like, they might be wearing Gucci, but it doesn't have like Gucci or the logo thing everywhere. So actually, I digress. Anyway, what am I saying? Wearing an outfit, okay, let me just get back to the point here. Wearing an outfit of a whole bunch of logos, I don't think it looks very elegant. Now, nothing against actually wearing designer clothes, but I just think with the logos all over the place, it just kind of looks like you spent a bunch of money on clothes and you want everyone to know that you spent a bunch of money on clothes, but I don't really think it looks very elegant. Now, if it were me personally and you were like, hey, I'm wearing all of this, what should I do, Anna? I would just say, break apart that outfit, pick one of those items, and then wear non-logo items everywhere else. I think that would look, me personally, I just would like that better. Even when the loud luxury trend comes back, which of course it will at some point, who knows when that will be. Right now it's all about quiet luxury and no logos, but eventually the pendulum will swing back the other way. I still don't really think that that would be a very elegant look. I just think it's a look, but I don't know if I would call it elegant. You know what I mean? Super chunky shoes, whether that be a super chunky high platform boot or a super chunky dad-ish like sneaker, neither one of those are going to give you an elegant look. I'm not saying they aren't functional for a lot of other kinds of looks, but neither one of those are just gonna look very elegant. I think when all of us think of elegant, we think of more slim, sleek, minimal. Like in terms of boots, that would be a more minimal style, which is where the boot trend is going. As I said in this video, the chunky, super chunky, high platform kind of sole is kind of going away, and it's really all about the slim, low heel boot. That is definitely a more on-trend look, and I think it looks a lot more elegant. And then as far as sneakers go, I think you can look elegant in sneakers. I'm sure that can be debated. I would just go for a slimmer sneaker, not so much one that's like big and clunky. Sneakers are kind of hard to look super elegant, I would say, when you're really trying to go that route. I mean, a boot would be a lot easier to get that look, but if you are going that route, maybe pairing it with trouser pants and something more sophisticated up top would kind of balance that out. I have a lot of things in my closet with cargo pockets. Actually, that's not true. I have 2 things in my closet with cargo pockets that I actually wear a lot. But would I say that they're elegant? No, I would not. Now, as I said in this video, it can also, if you put too many pockets all over your person, it can start to look a little bit frumpy. And so I would definitely say with these cargo pants and cargo jackets is to wear them when you're having a very casual occasion. I would not say that they're the thing to wear when you're trying to look elegant. Kate Middleton actually has outfits where she's wearing like a jacket with cargo pockets, and she looks beautiful. And most likely she's probably doing something where she's dressed for the occasion. Like that's appropriate for whatever she's doing. But if all we saw Kate Middleton in was cargo pocket jackets and things, probably the news story would be like, why does Kate Middleton dress so casual? Like, we expect more from the Princess of Wales. And so she dresses exactly how we would all expect a princess to dress. Very elegantly, very classy, very universally elegant. And that is her look that she has on most of the time. You know the jeans that have a lot of fake whiskers on them, fake fading just in the thighs? You can find them on Amazon. But I still see them out for sale, so somebody's buying them. But not only do I think they look not elegant, or I don't think they're very elegant, but I also think they look pretty cheap. They just look pretty, they are cheap actually. You can go find them on Amazon for very inexpensively. And if that was the only thing someone could find for, you know, for very inexpensively when it came to jeans, I'd be like, hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. But there's so many other jeans out there, even on Amazon, that do not look like that are around the same price. So I just feel like that's a very, I just feel like it looks kind of cheap. I'm just gonna say it, it does. And it does not look elegant. I don't think there's any way to make that look elegant. Yeah, there's just a lot better options out there. I think one thing that doesn't look very elegant, and I'm sure this will be debated, but it's when things are just looking really dated. I think it's very hard to wear a trend that went out of style a few years ago and make it look elegant, because it just looks like an out of style trend. And so what falls into this category a lot of the times are super loud prints, because as I've said in a lot of videos, prints just go in and out of fashion very quickly, and then once they're out of fashion, they can start looking dated, and especially if they're in a style that is also looking dated. And so when this happens, and when there's a print that is kind of out of style, it's not gonna look very elegant either. And I'm not saying to never buy prints, but I would just be very choosy with them, and instead of being like me in my past and have a closet full of printed tops, just keep it down to a few that you really love instead of your entire closet. It's better to focus on like textures and the style and solids and have that be the major players in your closet rather than prints. Instead of the big, loud, bold prints that you may have bought 2 or 3 years ago, which probably look a little dated because it's just what happens, I would stick with usually the smaller prints, the small florals, or stripes, of course, are always classic, but the small prints and the small florals are usually a little bit less likely to look dated or out of style. Now, if your clothes do not fit properly, it can also look very cheap, and it definitely does not look elegant. If things are pulling and pinching, your buttons are flying open, or it's just way too tight on your waist and it's pulling in the back, it doesn't matter if the pants were $1,000, it's going to look cheap and not elegant when you wear it. Having your clothes fit is like one of the biggest things in just looking stylish and put together. It's not necessarily how expensive your clothes were, but how well they fit you. And then of course the reverse is true as well. If your clothes are all hanging off of you and everything is 2 sizes too big and you lost a lot of weight and you just haven't updated your clothes, that's not gonna look very elegant either. It's just gonna look like your clothes don't fit, and it's not gonna look the best you can. Now, the underlying important message here, especially when it comes to looking elegant, is you really just need to dress for the occasion. So there's a lot of clothes that I mentioned here that I love and I wear, but I'm not gonna wear them to a networking event or some event where I'm gonna meet people for the first time. I wanna make a good impression, and so I'm gonna be very thoughtful about how I dress. I think especially as we get busy and in our lives, it is very tempting to just grab the super comfortable items almost every day and just go with that. And then we kind of get oblivious to how we are dressing and what we look like. And then later we're like, why do I feel so like frumpy and I don't feel like myself? So I actually talk a lot about that in this video here if you missed it, just how to avoid the fall frump and some different ideas to update your style. But I do suggest just having a few key pieces that you can add to those really basic comfortable outfits to just elevate them a little bit, make you feel like you're dressed up a little bit, and make you look more elegant. So I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to check out Bumpa's below if you are a person who wears socks and you want comfortable socks. I swear by them. And their underwear, actually. I'm wearing it right now. And some really good underwear as well. So let me know what you think about this video. Check out this video next if you want to stay on this subject, and I will see you next time.